Right. Good evening, and welcome to the show. Another beautiful Monday evening here in London. It is 8 minutes past 7 in London, UK time, and it is 8 minutes past 6 in Ghana time. You see what I mean? Accra, Ghana time. Right, so another week has come to pass, and the previous week, we have witnessed a very wonderful, at least on the part of the NDC, a very refreshing, satisfying development result as to the conduct and the conclusion of the primaries, which has just taken place. Mansa Musa, we're gonna use this week or this week's program to discuss why Mahama, now the official flag bearer of the NDC, have made some pronouncement about so many issues, and we haven't got any response from his opponents from the other side. Rather, some media personnel, presenters have now turned out to be the official spokesperson for the now, what I would term as the now, what do we call it, opposition NPP. You know, it's now, I can simply say they are the opposition NPP. They are now in opposition, because look at Mahama make some comments or references, and none what sort of response is coming from the other side, and that is not very great. You see what I mean? Anyway, let's go for some one or two commercials, and we will come back to discuss more of those as it is.
Society, yenam top connect so emanisika de bagana if we yasia fanani na yentia kapre. Ane, aye free. Top connect amasika manye aye mrekra. Ye uhiane se oba download with Top Connect app no ewo Play Store. Diama wo Android phone. Anase we use iPhone so ko Apple Store na download the Top Connect. Aye simple kra. Top Connect wa mamba radio num so wo Europe, North America and Asia. Woman wo dofu sika fa Top Connect so aye tem na emre na mawa hoto swonso sesede sika manye di foforo kra any Top Connect so we yan chechemu bia fra Top Connect e wo +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe Top Connect e wa befon tintenfidie nyina so Top Connect fasika mane wa dofo asundiem a wontia kapre Top Connect yenso ye die
let me go straight to the point. We will find wada. Once you attack and send be says so, your work can see come air conditioner, and also dumb air conditioning, no, and said that more can see no crane say. One funny papa manama installation now mountia. With everything called enterprise, air conditioning installation at the Mawa, Udamo, a Rubia, Okanu, a never cold room, it's a cold stores, and a Bavia, you didn't ever see. I was saying, everything called enterprise. Every year a nice one at your Mawa, a Rubia, no, but you medicadica. You install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels also. You want a nice Eddie Mawa, or you be a busu straight, not the only your body will fee. So what do you say? And our gas in a son, say you'll come with the another dear, and our cold store dear. Nina, a very nice and quick, but we will be a yet the amount. Most of more bridge, I'm always sit down, my can over to me, I'm afraid you can lie with so. Yeah, install air conditioning, Nibiamamu. Frank +44 7508 650279. Oh, wager, adjacent Ghana Fire Service. Wow, France 0544 489 343 and 0302 906 276. Your website, everythingcode.org. And I'll send you an email, kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything called enterprise, air conditioning, master, no.
NFM Radio.
NFM Radio emu da ho. Menua tie fire will burn you NFM Radio Jumedi Mansa Musa ede bro ejuada kopem memneda enumre no nson ekopem no ndu. Listen to Fire Will Burn You on NFM Radio with Mansa Musa Monday to Saturday 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
'Yan uwana mutanen NDC da ke United Kingdom da Ireland chapter, ina roƙon ku har wa yau ku vote ku ba chairman Akwa. Shi kada ne wanda in Allah ya yarda ya win ya zama chairman zai kawo welfare program da zai taimaka muku ya taimaka ma party mu. Daga cikin wannan welfare program dukkan memba da ke neman taimako lokacin da ya shiga cikin masuwa abin da ya kama daga 50 pounds zuwa 400 pounds welfare program na ya tabbatar a baka a taimaka maka in Allah ya maka dalili ka biya wannan kudi. Bayan haka kuma dukkan memba da ke neman wani taimako sha'anin batun takardun shi ko wurin zama ya ajiye manya da lauyoyi da kowane lokaci kake neman advice ko kake neman wani lawyer da zai taimaka maka akan batun sha'anin zamanka a ƙasar United Kingdom shi kuma su bi bayan ka su taimaka maka su saya maka ka biya wani abu kadan da yake in ka je waje zaka doki lawyer ba da ka same shi haka nan ba. Muna roƙonka memban NDC da ke United Kingdom ko Ireland in lokacin vote ya kai ka vote ka ba chairman Akwa shi kare ne wanda yake zai taimaka ma fatin mu a lokacin da muke ciki. Wannan shine sanarwa ko wannan shine abin da muke roko ku taimaka mishi Allah kuma ya taimaka mu duka gaba daya Allah ba mu nasara. Mun gode muku da kuka saurare mu. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
National Democratic Congress NDC no nyam forma ne mema mo UK ni Ireland chapter no ya yetienie gana so say beto aba eji chapter chairman fofo na hwede chine no mum ko to no so enyo nyam for Dr. Joe Ajimai the restoration man the father say e party no enim kai odi amonyesema kotine yie ne wetu ni hwese wa forma so nkoso koni mu adwumade de e fa ne hotitiru na esini nan so nwade bebre no de egu akwemu a obeye de amaye bini se o sigina ye esiko no dwumade bia be kire party office na odisika 3 pounds empemenum na ato ase eye 5,000 pounds Osantri maguo ni mama honsu 1,000 pounds na ebe show mu dwumade mu kena na esigina ye dodon so a be kire afoforo omo betro mu din abeka party ne ho de omo mbrakura o omo se beka omo e-card ententem so na atwe adom abeka ye ho eye bosu memiense bia nso party mu mpanimfu a odi dwumade be show mu nse bia no obetu safro omo atena se na de ye de show mu nse no omo ebu ho aponta mako we di bebre na no be ya mayo onua se kwatre kwose bo ma wontuma bisanidi ye ni Dr. Joe Ajimai the restoration man chapter chairman ana yentumano.
The clergy and the religious distinct, when they speak, they shake the foundation. And it is only the church that will address meaningfully the canker going on. And they want to silence all credible voices. Now, today, we will reveal everything to you. This question has, direct relation with the pronouncements of Reverend Professor Marty. Let me tell you why people do not want Professor Marty to talk. Listen, they have tried, politicians have tried all means, all means to muzzle me, to get me, but they can't. They come with bribes, fat envelope, $100,000. Listen. I want everybody to listen. Politicians came to my house with fat envelope, $100,000, not cedis, dollars. And also with the promises that, if you keep quiet, we will give you a house at Trazaco with swimming pool. You know what? We will give you 4-wheel drive. These people were lucky. I did not have big dogs in my house. Else I would have released the dogs to bite them for the whole world to ask, Papa Moderator, my boy, one again. Papa Moderator, I didn't know what to me yet, Now you release the dog. Then I will tell them, ask what they came to do. You know what? They have tried all means to muzzle me. They couldn't, and I tell you they can't. And you know what? I will speak today, I will speak tomorrow. You know the tax I pay, Osofo? Sometimes when this thing comes and I see the tax that I've paid, but at the same time I said, praise be to the Lord we serve, because it's going to build our nation. Then when my tax goes, you babies with sharp teeth, you are stealing the money and you don't want us to talk. We will talk today, we will talk tomorrow.
NFM Radio, emu daho. Menua, tie fire will burn you. NFM Radio. Jumedia Mansa Musa ede bro. Juada kopem memneda. Enumre non song. Ekopem non do.
Right. So that was a message. Tonight, let me say that John Dramani Mahama has now officially been pronounced by NDC members overwhelmingly as the flag bearer. So John Dramani Mahama will lead the NDC into the 2024-2025 elections, general elections. Before this vote or this particular exercise, there has been a lot of, how do I say it, a lot of events, some very significant and others can be described as trivial or, something that we can just overlook and move on. For some time now, the detractors of NDC and of Mahama have tried to monopolize the airwaves, the written and the spoken and the televisual media. It was sponge all to highlight what they think or what they claim to be the wrong or the not very palatable side of NDC, and why everything to do with Mahama should be seen as a mistake. Many things have been written against or about Mahama. Many things have been spoken about him previously, about how he has amassed so much wealth, money, and everything, how he's bought some properties in Dubai, so forth and so on. Till this day, nobody, including myself, Mansa Musa, has been able to prove that corrupt or the associated corrupt nature of Mahama. Nobody has been able to come out with a tangible explanation why Mahama shouldn't come back as a president. Many people have spoken and used their social media or their platforms just to denigrate the man. Some have said that he is a curse and that if he comes back, it will be a curse on Ghanaians or Ghana. Some of the pronouncements from people like Kweku Anyidewo and the rest have been so childish, has been so ignorant. It has been so, how do I say it, trivial. I mean, for adults, for seasoned politicians to speak, sometimes make pronouncements of that nature, it is rather appalling. Anyway, all in all, the exercise known as primaries for the NDC has come to pass. And it must be said that relatively, everything has gone swimmingly well, apart from the odd misunderstanding here and there, and one or two skirmishes. Apparently, someone got a broken teeth or something. And apart from a silly, stupid fellow or fellas who decided to share monies, throw monies about in public, their attitude is so appalling. But those discussions will come later on at the right time. So foolish of a behavior coming from someone who should support and have the ideals of the June 4th and 31st December revolutions, for someone to stand in public and throw money away, just spread monies for people to collect, like a farmer throwing corn onto the floor for the chickens to devour. That action was very, very poor, and it should be condemned. But like I said, that will be a topic for another day. But all in all, the primaries has come and gone in a peaceful manner. Mahama overwhelmingly has won. So going forward, Going forward, what we have to now do with it, or what we have to concern ourselves with, is that a flag bearer, when he speaks, we should seek answers and replies from his opponents. In recent past, should I say, Mahama had come out with pronouncements. He has come out with his stance or his position on certain matters of very serious national interest. I.e., Mahama has spoken about this LGBTQ issue. He has spoken about ex gratia. He has presented his stance on corruption, how to fight it, on Galamsey, on other related or unrelated constitutional issues. Recently, he has spoken about the issue of dual citizenship. What I expected the media in general to do is to, of course, lament on what Mahama has said, even debate it, but they should have requested responses from the opponents, like Baumia, like Akufo-Addo himself, like Kene Japan, or say Akoto from Alain Tremantin. They should have also been asked to explain or to pronounce their positions on, let's say, LGBT issues. But in Ghana, as if, the practice of democracy, the principles of media presentation or journalism, as if it is written differently in Ghana. Otherwise, how can an opposition leader come out to say something about, a constitutional instrument or a very serious existing problem? He speaks about it. We would expect that the media will ask somebody from the other parties or mainly from the NPP group. Now the NPP group, which I actually say is the new opposition. The NPP has now turned to be the new opposition. Nobody asked Alain Tremantin to come and explain his position on LGBTQ. No one has asked Kennedy Japan to come and explain his stance on corruption. No one has asked Bawumia to come and explain or say his part or his view on what Mahama have said about Galamsey. It is all about when Mahama speaks, either, people will say, oh, he's done the right thing, he's spoken very well, or the rest will say, he's wrong and he's vilified, ridiculed, sometimes even, pure insults. Insulted sometimes. That's what I'm saying. It looks as if the principles or the requirement for journalists or journalistic, what we call it, attributes is written differently for Ghanaians. So now, from now going, all what I'm asking is that Mahama comes to speak about LGBTQ. Mahama comes to speak about Galamsey fight. Mahama comes to speak about what we call it, else gratia. Mahama speaks about certain components in the Constitution or what he will do differently when it comes to, when he attains power. When Mahama had spoken about these things, I will expect, or I do expect, our journalists to ask views from the now new opposition, that is the NPP. Because now I don't see the NPP as the party in government or, governing, running Ghana. NPP, especially the party itself, is busy fighting over who should come and break something they call 8. I know some people have already described that it's not about breaking 8, but rather throwing away the rubbish 8. So, ladies and gentlemen, tell the Ghanaian media that anytime Mahama comes to speak about something, they should inquire from the opposition, the new opposition, NPP opposition, the leadership, as they are now what we call it, scrambling, as they are now, like a ferret in a sack, fighting amongst themselves for one of them to be chosen to be their leader. Because if Mahama speaks about ex gratia or about dual citizenship, and up to date, we have not heard anything from Bawumia on this issue. We have not heard anything from Alan Cash for this issue. Nothing from Kennedy Japan. I Joe Ghana Ghana Japan so person president too. And then I have four. Anyway, you be see about the name Ray. Minsaka doctor. Dr. Bia on Wakasa research, or let's say the findings. Well, who say those areas that people are practicing Galamsey, illegal mining, heavily, all those areas where people are involved in illegal mining, indulging in Galamsey, those areas have more issues to do with childbirth death and childbirth birth defects. That is, this gentleman has found out that after a pregnant woman had or has died and postmortem operation is conducted, he has found out that some of the tissue or the well-formed babies have defects, like arms not fitted at the correct places. Some will have one eye, some will have 3 ears, some will have no genitalia, and the rest. When this man conducted his own research or conducted what we call laboratory tests and the rest, he found out that chemicals that are used heavily to mine or to clean up gold, to extract gold, chemicals like cyanide and mercury and others had permeated into the local drinking system, water system, environment, maybe even in the air. So young mothers or people who get pregnant, they drink such polluted, contaminated waters, breathe unclean air, eat, contaminated, polluted foodstuffs and the rest. Now they give birth or they get, they conceive children with so many defects on these children. And mostly these women themselves, they die. You see, so ladies and gentlemen, let's put it straight and let's make it, as straight as we can. That, okay, thank you. The effect, the negative effect of galamsey, as we are experiencing now, effects on people now, is not even as bad as the effects on people of the future. Our past has been destroyed by this illegal mining galamsey. Our past, that is, what exists already, the rivers, the soil, everything. Our present, the current affairs is also being affected by this galamsey. It's, the menaces, the ill effects of galamsey is affecting, our present way of life. Then in the future, that is, the unborn children are also suffering this negative effects of galamsey. Someone who the echo. And when me say, okay, thank you. In effect, galamsey, say niyama bebree na egusu say. Me kokufa advert na area yebeba abetwa so. I do promise sincerely yebeba abetwa so.
Busiafo sese die ye nam top connect so e mani sika de bagana efi wiase afa na nyina ye ntia kapre ane eye free top connect amasika mani aye mrekra ye wohia ne se wo be download wo top connect app no e wo Play Store de ama wo Android phone ana se wo use iPhone so a ko Apple Store na download the top connect eye simple kra top connect wa man be bro aduonum so wo Europe, North America and Asia wo mane wo dofo sika fa top connect so a eye tem na emre na mawa hoto so sese die sika manye di foforo kra any top connect so we yan chechemu bia fra top connect e wo +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and na se hwehwe top connect e wa befon tintenfidie nyina so top connect fasika mane wa dofo asunjemu a untia kapre top connect yensu ye die nie
Abusia, let me go straight to the point. We me fa wada. Once you attack and send be says so, your work here. Come air conditioner, and also damn air conditioning, no, and said that more can see, no, crane say. One funny papa, and I'm installation now, Mountia. With everything called enterprise, air conditioning installation at the Mawa, Odamo, a Rubia, Okanu, a never cold room, it's a cold stores, and a Bavia, you didn't see, I was saying, you know, everything called enterprise. Ever a nice one at your Mawa, a Rubia, no, but you went Dika. You install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels also. You want a nice Eddie Mawa, or you be a busu straight, not the only your body will fee. So what do you say? And our gas in a son, say you'll come with the another dear, and our cold store dear. Nina, a very nice and quick, but we will be a yet the amount. Musa more bridge, Bobby sit down, or my canoe, and over to me, I'm afraid you can lie with so. Nearby install air conditioning, Nibiamamu. Frank class 447508650279. Oh, wager, I just sent Ghana Fire Service. Wow, France 0544-489-343 and 0302-906-276. Your website, you know, everythingcode.org. And I send you email kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything called enterprise, air conditioning, a master, no.
Right, so you are all welcome back to Fire Will Burn You. This program, like I said all the time, I've been saying that I am not literally, I don't want fire to engulf or burn anybody, fire to destroy anything. It's just metaphorical, but you got to speak very well when you are dealing with Mansa Musa. As for fire, I've always advised that make sure you treat, household and industrial electrical equipment very carefully, especially the ones that you have to connect to the mains. So don't overload your extension leads and the rest. Apart from that, you'll be fine. Believe me, trust me, I say you'll be fine. Now though, let's go to Accra and speak to somebody from the NDC fraternity, from the NDC HQ. We all know that now Mahama is the flag bearer. And so from now onwards, we expect that whenever he says something, our Ghanaian media personalities or the media group will not just sit down and usually condemn Mahama's utterances, but they will request or require responses from the appropriate opposite side. The opposite side I call the new opposition, the new MPP opposition, because there's no governance going. I've been able to get in contact with Mr. Simon Yao Awazi of the NDC headquarters, if we can say. Good evening, Simon.
Good evening, my brother Musa.
Are you okay? Everything all right?
Oh, by His grace, as you are aware, we just finished our presidential and parliamentary primaries just a few days ago. That's 2 days ago. So we are in the house resting and to commence with our battle towards 2024, recapturing of powers from the MPP.
I see. So, like you say, you are in a house resting. Some of you, most of you, all of you, very tired indeed. Obviously, the results has not come as a surprise at all. The result wasn't in doubt. We knew that what was going to happen. All what we were thinking about was how much Mahama was going to win. Apart from before, we'll talk about Mahama in details, but the rest of your group, barring some few hiccups or let's say skirmishes here and there, and the foolish attitude of, I think, a lady who was seen on video throwing monies about, something really not in line with the ideals of the revolution. But apart from those, would you say that the exercise has been a welcome success?
Okay, thank you very much, and also good evening to your cherished listeners, those listening in the UK, or precisely the diaspora, and those of us also listening from Ghana. Mr. Musa, what I will say is that in every contest, there will definitely be an issue raised by either your opponents or by your supporters. But what I would say is that the outcome of the results and election was peacefully conducted and supervised by the instituted body, which we all know, the Electoral Commission. And it's also the workaholic National Executive, who also have done all they could to make sure that the election was free and fair. And the only thing I can also say is that the pullout of one of the candidates, which is the presidential candidate, Dr. Komna Dufo, he also saw something as an issue, which the party was highly ready to work on it, but he saw it as an issue, and he said no, it's not going to be part of the contest. But I say, even if Dr. Komna Dufo was part of the contest, definitely the margins pulled by the former president John Dramani Mahama will still be within the 97, 96, 97. Something percent that Mahama got is a welcoming news, and we all thank His Excellency. And I also assure you, from the base that
we are having problems with WhatsApp as usual. Mr. Yao Simon Awoze is in the headquarters of the NDC. Hello.
If I can also add something to the lady.
Yeah, Mr. Awoze, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Almost about, let's say, 30, 35 to 40 seconds. We didn't hear from you. Maybe someone called you or something, but there was a breakup. So I don't know if you realized there was a breakup. Yeah,
I realized there was a breakup.
Mm-hmm. So if we can, you can refresh on what you were trying to tell us.
Yeah, what I was trying to say is that in every contest, there will be a little skirmishes. Either be an issue raised from your opponent or your supporters. But even as I was saying, that even if Dr. Komna Dufo was supposed to be in the race, Mahama would still be getting 97 point something percent, because the margin that Dufo might be expecting, I would say the rejected ballot papers might be the percentage Dufo will be getting, because those are the people who might not ready to vote for Mahama nor Kojo Bonso. Those rejected papers might be necessary per the research, might be necessary for Dr. Komna Dufo. So even Dufo is supposed to be in the race, definitely Mahama is going to get over 97%. In the nutshell, what I would say is that the contest was peaceful. The contest is a welcoming one. The contest is a signal to the MPP that whoever might emerge from their Congress will not be a match to John Dramani Mahama, because those who are going to campaign, making sure that we recapture power from the MPP, are the people who have voted sent a signal that 2024, the grassroots, the base is ever ready to go all out to campaign for John Dramani Mahama, and that is the outcome of the result Mahama got. So this is what I can say now.
Right. So that is what you guys have got, and I think you, the NDC fraternity, very proud of yourself, very satisfied. The other issue I personally have, Mansa Musa, my issue or my small beef is that Mahama of late recently has come out. He has put his cards on the table and, like say, put his head on a parapet to pronounce his stance or his point of view or his position on, let's say, LGBTQ issue, on Galamsey fighting issue, on what is the other thing, on S Gracia issue, on dual dual citizenship issue. All these issues, we don't hear a response from the NPP hierarchy. Rather, all what we hear is sometimes, a rebuttal. Media personnel who have rather turned out, presented themselves, albeit not officially, as the representatives or speakers or people who represent the opposition NPP. Why do you think Ghanaians, first and foremost, why are you Ghanaians not pushing a response, requesting a response from the NPP hierarchy? And it's like you leave them to go scot-free while Mahama is always being berated, ridiculed, or even sometimes outright insults. What is that? Why is that happening?
My brother, there is something that I've learned or observed about we Ghanaians, that Ghanaians, they talk less, but they become very active in action when it is time for election. And what I have observed is that they are only waiting for 2024 for them to use the thumb as a gun to put these people out of power. Because all that they have said when Nanado was in opposition, contesting John Mahama in 2016, was quite different from what they are doing today. You recall, on the issues of LGBTQ, the late former President Atamas also categorically came out to talk against the conduct, the influence of the LGBTQ over the Ghanaian society, and what our constitutional requirement or what the constitution has stated or is stand on the LGBTQ. And Mahama also said the same thing. But like I said, what the MPP government is interested is where there is money, they'll go for it without necessarily thinking about the base or the sufferings of the Ghanaians. So when you're talking about Galamsey, when you're talking about LGBTQ, when you're talking about whatever, none of them will come out, especially those at the executive position, will not come out to condemn it. But they will only send the media guys who are in the pocket, who have been fed every day, daily, in the pocket of this politician, in the helm of affair, to come out and defend or condemn. But you not see people like Abiy Ochidaku, who is the prima facie as the prime minister of the Republic of Ghana, a shadow finance minister, who come out to condemn. You not see people like the secretary to the president, Nana Asante Bidieto, the chief of staff. None of them, you not see them coming to condemn. You understand? So whatever His Excellency the President will say, the former President will say, John Dramani Mahama will say, you don't see any of them, but they will see the sponsored media guys who supposed to behave in such a way, although in the line of we the ordinary Ghanaians, that no, this is what we are suffering, this is what we are countering daily, for them to be our spokespersons. No, because they are satisfied from what they have been fed with. You not see any of them. So, my brother, what I can say to you in this evening is that Ghanaians are dissatisfied with the performance of the President of the Republic of Ghana and NPP government. It doesn't matter whoever they will come out with as their presidential candidate. 2024 general election, the NDC is coming out with a majority in parliament, with majority of vote going for President John Dramani Mahama. And as he has already stated today, that they should prepare a handing over note starting from today. And he has also assured them that he's going to put a committee or commission into who is going to inquire, or commission of inquiry into so many corruptions or issues confronted this government. His next government is going to make sure that he's going to investigate in all financial malfeasances and whatever that has gone through the MPP government. So as I said, the MPP has not done anything to the benefit of we the Ghanaians. But what I can also assure you is that Ghanaians are talkless. They never want to talk too much, but they are only waiting for 2024 to come for them to go to the polls and show the MPP, as we did in 2008, that enough of their the kind of incompetencies they have displayed within the next 6 years, going to 7 years in government.
What I will we will end very soon, but a quick one, and that is, I guess I'm trying to say that if Mansa Musa is sitting in Accra or somewhere, Mahama comes out with his policy on, let's say, ex gratia or on dual citizenship. I may have my own opinion on such issues, but surely I have to strive to get the opinion, from those competing with Mahama. Instead, the media persons will just sit down and, sometimes shouting and crying and everything about what Mahama have said, but we don't hear from his top opponents from the other side. I think what I'm trying to say is that you guys must look into that. Make sure you demand the media fraternity to be fair when either criticizing or interrogating what Mahama have said, and they should request official pronouncement from the other side. Secondly, I want you to wrap up quickly, and that is, you had some small misunderstanding prior and during this election, this primaries exercise. Are you going to consider this small understanding as a small understanding and that it should be negligible, or you are going to treat it as something you have to tackle to bring everything on board heading into the 2024 elections?
Master Musa, if you can repeat the first and second, I heard you saying misunderstanding, but there was a little breakup in the line. So if you
what I'm trying to say, the second one is that the few disgruntled persons before and during the primaries that you just held, the few, are you going to disregard them, or you are going to tackle it and bring everything on board? Then secondly, what you guys are going to do about the fact that media personnel, whenever Mahama says something, they criticize it without calling for the opinions of the, opinions from the other side, like say the MPP hierarchy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, did I make myself clear?
Okay. With regards to the disgruntled members or candidates who are not able to make it, is that per the assurance of the National Executive chaired by the National Chairman, is that definitely there's going to be measures that are going to put in place to meet these disgruntled ones one after the other. If it's not going to be based on the constituency level, it is going to be based on the regional level or a national level. It has always been the norm that after every election, there is a committee that has been instituted by the National Executive Committee in relation to all these issues. As I have said, if you recall, during the conduct of the parliamentary primaries, some of the constituencies have been put on hold. And those are the measures that have been put in place, making sure that issues confronting those constituencies are resolved before the elections are conducted in those areas. So if those constituencies are put in hold, how much more people who are disgranted? Definitely there's going to be a committee that will oversee that, making sure there is peace, there is unity, and issues bothering any of them are being resolved towards the 2024 general election.
Mr. Awazi Simon of the NDC HQ in Accra, Ghana. Thank you very much. At appropriate time, we may have a longer, discussions and everything else. So for tonight, thank
Mr.
you.
Musa, do you know I'm also an assembly member to the people of Abolobongo in the Kata Municipal Assembly?
Okay, now you are telling me. Has your harbor been built?
My brother, you've raised an issue. A harbor which doesn't exist, but somebody is taking salary 24 hours. Somebody is taking salary every month over 50,000 cities, and nothing is being done. I think these are some of the things Mahama have said, that when it comes to power, any money that has been paid wrongly or wrongfully to anybody, the person is going to, vomit all those money and be used for developmental issues. So, as I said, Qatar, there is no development going on. It is only a signpost with 40-footer containers put there, painted in a GPHA colors. And that is the only thing I can say has happened. Apart from that, nothing
also,
has taken place.
A quick one. That lady friend of mine on Facebook, I've forgotten her name, is it Amelie something. She competed for, to stand in for NDC, and you people failed or decided not to give her the chance. Why?
Who is that person? In the Qatar.
In the Qatar, I've forgotten her name. She's always very active on Facebook. I don't think so.
No, maybe that lady I know. She contested in Anglon constituency.
Okay. This one is I think Dela Sikaji something. Yeah.
She Dela Gohart.
Yes, Gohart. Oh, so she didn't compete. All right. So you are free then. You don't have
in Anglon constituency.
Okay, the responsibility is not yours then. Listen, thank you. But what I say before you go is that Mansa Musa and my show will like exposure. If you have one, either anywhere you have, you can pick up my Facebook or YouTube and maybe channel it onto your TV's local broadcast system, so that what we can say here without much of insult or anything is very powerful, so that we can speak to from here to Ghanaians back at home. So I'll leave that one in your hand, and we'll talk about it later. Listen, thank you very much for your time.
I would definitely share your links, and I'm also praying that in future you'll be able to set up a radio station like BBC, and you will contest more than what BBC is doing.
Thank you very much.
And I'll give you assurance to that.
Thank you very much.
And I'm going to share your links to every platform.
Inshallah.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
When you were a baby, your mama told
Right. Yes. So Fire Ben is now burning on the airwaves. You are listening to Mansa Musa. Tonight already I've spoken to a gentleman called Simon Awazi. He is at or from the NDC headquarters in Accra. He happens to be assembly member too for the Keta area, and he has explained so many issues. And so that is what it is. My next guest will be someone. He said babies in Galamsey areas are being born with one eye without genitalias, and we'll speak to Professor Osei Sampeni. He is a senior pathologist, saying that areas in Ghana where Galamsey is very prominent, children are being born with defective organs and everything. We will ask him what exactly he's talking about and how, going forward, what needs to be done. That is the program. 12 minutes past 8 here in London. That is 12 minutes past 7. I'm still waiting for a response from Mr. Dr. Professor Osei, is it Sampeni? He is a pathologist. He has come out with statements that children born in Galamsey areas children are being born, babies are being born with defective limbs and organs and the rest. Some babies are born with no private parts or genitalias. Some have their hands or limbs fitted at the wrong places. Some are born with one eye, others don't have mouth. A whole lot of. And this pathologist, this professor, is saying that this is happening mainly at the places or in Ghana where galamsey is being practiced and being indulged heavily. That is the situation we find ourselves in. You see, galamsey is not just about something that is abstract or you can think of as though, oh yeah, we can say it, but maybe not happening very much. Oh, it's okay. Or maybe it's not something we should be afraid of because it is happening. Its effect is actually destroy. Its effect can be seen or can be felt even now. You see, people who are drinking water, even the treated water from streams and rivers located at where galamsey is heavily practiced. People are drinking to their early death, really. And not only that, but offsprings from such people will turn out. Nature has its own way of proving human beings, making us look like fools. So, people who are born with defects, previously, before the civilization sets in, people will see babies with wrong limbs or maybe one eye, no nose, and as though it's something to do with spirit or spiritual or something to do with a punishment by our ancestors or from the gods or something. Now, science can actually prove that the actions that we are taking, things that we are doing, actually affects and the day-to-day existence of our being. And so, like I said, I am a trained doctor. Your friend is saying, Professor Osei Sampani, so that you respond. I said that he started about 8 o'clock here, 7 o'clock Ghana, but I still cannot get the response from him. I think we got. Dr. Osei Sampani, good evening.
Yeah, evening, sir.
Welcome to the show. That is Fire Will Burn You, coming to you from London.
Fire will burn you, eh?
Yes, but it is not literal anyway.
Yeah, understand. But fire will burn you. Fire will burn you, understand?
You see, metaphorically, fire is already burning us because when you put so much poisonous substance into the environment, into the soil and rivers and the rest, the fire that is burning you is what you, the doctor, have come out scientifically to explain to us. Doctor, tell us what made you to come out with such statement like babies in galamsey areas are being born with one eye without genitalia. Take it along, doctor.
All right, thank you so much, my brother. And may God bless you, and may God bless all your listeners out there in the UK. What do you call it? In fact, somebody once asked me, what is my motivation? My motivation is as anyone's motivation, because life thereafter, when we are not there, we should have children, we should have people who would sort of take over from us. Now it's time that we are destroying our inheritance in terms of human resource. So whatever it is that we are doing, we should be mindful of it. So what actually motivated me is like anything that has also motivated you to call me to know exactly what is happening in Ghana. But I mean, to be precise, I was interviewed by one of these foreign radio stations, and then after the interview, I don't know how the whole interview came to the public domain, and that's what started the Ghana version of their interest in knowing exactly what is happening, because earlier on it has been noted that galamsey is having a devastating effect on our environment without recourse to the environment and the food chain having its own effect on the humans, and that's exactly what actually motivated me mostly to do what I did.
So that was the motivation, but motivation doesn't happen in a vacuum. Obviously, if one or two of these instances during the course of your daily activities, like postmortem and the rest, if you found such defects, one or two in the whole year, then you would say, oh, maybe anyway, we can just live with it. But you found out that, look, these defects and whatnot is just too much to ignore. Tell us in detail what you found so far, which you don't even call it a research, but a case study. Tell us what you found in your case study, sir.
Okay, that's fine. Well, like I said earlier, I didn't do a research as in database research, but I did what you call what we call in fact the research parlance case study. And the case study was such that you do one or two you see one or two issues and you see the consistency in it, and so wow, it's so consistent to be ignored. And so you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and so wow, this thing is forming this a similar pattern. So can I sort of find the pattern where the trend is? And that's exactly what I did. And when I did it, what I saw was that let me just give you the background. First, I was called upon on 3 different occasions to 3 different sort of regions in Ghana, Western, Central, and Ashanti. And then when I was made to go there, I was to go and just do a retrieval of a baby from a mother's womb. And then I did it, and then I realized that almost all of them had similar or some funny defect, what we call congenital defect or birth defect. So based on that birth defect, I decided to check on what is happening. So when I decided to check on by trying to do further tests, I realized that there was this what we call lead and mercury concentration in their mother's placenta. Do you understand? And so mercury lead concentration in their mother's placenta. And I said, oh, wow, how could this thing affect the development of the fetuses? And then I started checking other literatures, and I realized that yes, when you have this concentration of mercury and lead, they do have a serious defect in the development of the fetuses, which will lead to all these anomalies that I saw, and then photograph them, and then realize that this is what I have to draw the attention of the public and the populace. The fact that what the galamsey is doing to the system is a very serious thing, and hence my findings.
So, obviously, when you do such, what do you call it, studies and find something like this, apart from writing it, recording it in your diaries and whatnot, what do you do next? What is the next line of your official action?
Well, Mansa, I must be honest to tell you, it's something that involves, a lot in terms of finances. Financially, it is so much onto my financial, sort of my financial expectation anyway. So, in fact, last week Friday, I have to travel all the way from Kumasi to, in fact, Kumasi, when I mean Kumasi, what the needs are Ashanti region. I went to Central Region, and then from Central Region, I have to come back to Western Region to collect placentas. And see, I have to fuel my own car at the risk of my own life. And then, aside the fact that I was doing all the things that I've mentioned, the next thing is to do what we call digestion of the specimen that I brought to be able to extract the heavy metals, and it's so expensive. To do one digestion of a placenta is 500 Ghana cedis. I don't know how much it is in pounds for now, but 500 Ghana cedis per digestion. But because I need to do it, I have to do that, and then that is how it is. So now what it is that I'm doing, I'm collecting a lot of placentas, and then at the same time, seek for ethics approval. And the ethics approval is also money. You have to pay for you want to carry on this what do you call such research. But whatever it is, I know God will have His own way of helping me to come by the money to be able to do it. As we speak now, I have over 400. I have over 100 pieces of placentas, and if I do 500 per one placenta, you can imagine how much I'm talking about. It's about 5,000 Ghana cedis.
I see. So,
but of course, I'm not perturbed. I will continue to do it until I come out to the data. The first cases that I did, we call it case studies. So as for that one, it's not database. So, but the next one that I'm doing is going to be based on data. I have to collect data and be able to make analysis as to whether my findings are right or not.
So the point is, you see, it's all well and good, as Ghanaians always, pushing all the, how do we call it, the responsibility, of everything we do to God. But you as a public figure, as a pathologist, as a professor in these sort of sciences, surely the protocols should be that even if the official, let's say, medical bodies are not or were not aware, one would have thought that you would, consign your findings to them or report the initial findings to, the powers that be, so that officially some sort of investigation will be conducted, even maybe into your initial findings, then maybe a proper overall sort of investigation done in this, into what you have found. I guess what I'm trying to say is that it shouldn't be your personal sort of aim or objective to bring out facts which will help society going forward. It should be officially be acknowledged and properly, done in. I guess I'm trying to say here in UK, it won't be your responsibility to do it alone. Have you contacted the Ministry of Health, with regards to what you want to do?
No, unfortunately not. I have not done so. I don't know. I think I have to probably get them involved. But as we speak now, I've not done so. For obvious reasons, maybe I will not be able to say all those things on air, but I've not done it. And probably I'm considering if it is important to do it. Otherwise, I've had incidences where I've done so many things all by
NFM
myself.
Radio.
And anyway, let us leave it there.
Yes, one would have thought that, as difficult as it is, maybe politically speaking, this is something that anybody, any Ghanaian discerning person in Ghana should embrace or should be happy to help out. I mean, to know. Because obviously, look, we all know theoretically that what is happening in Galamsey areas will bring some serious consequences. We all know. But practically, with evidence, if someone like you have at least started something into to find out really what is happening, it should be the obligation of the state to actually go into it, actually to find out whether it is just a storm in the teacup and that is not any big alarm, or maybe you have exaggerated or anything. This shouldn't fall on your shoulders alone, should it?
You know something? Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know something? There's an account proverb that says that if one stretches his arm, then you also stretch yours to greet, isn't it? But if the person doesn't stretch, I'm, like you rightly said, I'm not the one to even call them, because they know they have a sector called public health. So I was expecting that public health department of Ministry of Health would take up that responsibility and even would have started something like that. But let me just leave it there, please. Let me leave it there.
Okay, it's no. I'm not. Listen, exactly. I'm going to put you in any awkward position. Let's be of the medical. Let's talk about what we can do going forward. If my questions somehow rubs you in a very unfavorable light, you just let me know. But surely I'm not here to, especially a public figure, to put you in any awkward position. But
our system is so segregated.
I know.
Sometimes if you are not careful, I'm not afraid of anything though. But you see, I have taken that tangent that I want to go into things, research that hitherto people wouldn't have gone into. In our system, before you see a researcher doing any work, it's as if they are replicating what the European has done or what an American has done, and replicate it and make it a published paper. No, I don't do that. I do what hitherto would have benefited our system, like what I've done. In fact, let me draw your attention to one thing. I don't know whether you are aware of something that happened in Ghana some years ago. A school in Ghana called Musa Academy was actually, in fact, they actually found themselves in some form of what we call an infectious disease called, people were dying, students were dying, about seven students died and were about to die. More were about to die. And then I had to call the school and tell them that, look, the situation. I want to do autopsy to find out exactly what is happening. The teachers were, but the headmaster of the day was not interested until I insisted. And I told him that I don't owe you, or you don't owe me anything. I will do everything all by myself until I found out this thing. And lo and behold, I was able to do it. And then it came out to be the H1N1 influenza that was killing them. And that was how we were able to curtail the death that was going on. And you see, nobody was interested. In fact, at a point, I was almost made a villain. That, why are you doing this? Are you disgracing the country? I said, I'm not disgracing the country. You are not finding the truth.
Jesus Christ.
And I've been able to help, and I'm ready to help. So basically, that is how our system is. So on a more serious note, that's how it is. But when I was able to do that, H1N1 was the first of its kind in Africa, and for that matter, in Ghana. It has never happened in Ghana before. In fact, in the whole of Africa, H1N1 was not something that was common in Africa. It first happened in 1995 in Spain.
Yes.
and I was able to do it, and eventually came out with what was happening, and that is how the school and then the whole of the country was able to. But nobody acknowledged it. Nobody, as we speak now, the only group of people who acknowledged me was WHO. They called me to Accra, and then they said, "I thank you for doing what you have done." So, and that was it all. And so I'm not bothered about it. So I'm always motivated by the fact that I have my kids, I have my wife who is a foreigner by me, and she always encourages me. Paul, go ahead and do it. And I go at the risk of my life and the risk of my family. I go and get it done. And then some of these, especially viruses, when virus condition come, what we call COVID came, I was the first Ghanaian who was able to do autopsy on a COVID patient. Nobody was interested, but nobody cares. Nobody cares about what I
So, what about the medical fraternity? I mean, devoid of any social or political differences. Do you have
I didn't get you well.
I'm talking about the medical fraternity itself in Ghana, devoid of any political differences or affiliations. Do you usually talk, organize seminars, or at least explain your findings so that maybe as a group you can take it forward?
Mansa Musa, I know probably as for you guys, you are at a place where you get access to so many things. Google or check whether ever since I did this, whether Ghana Medical and Dental Council or Ghana Medical Association have even NFM made any statement to respect of what I've done. Nobody.
Since I heard you speak on GMG with Randy Abbey, what responses has come your way? Have you received?
I'm saying nobody. I'm telling you, nobody. And I'm not worried about that anyway. Seriously, I'm not lamenting. I'm not lamenting. What I'm saying is that nobody.
Prof, it's not about you not being worried. Some of us are worried. Ghanaians should be worried about what you said. If it turns out to be true, we are in trouble. So why do we all sit aside as though, I mean, I say I don't know how to explain it, but we should be worried, don't we? Shouldn't we?
I'm not worried. I'm not worried because that is an average African. The average African is like that, so I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. Absolutely not worried.
What is your objective? What is your aims going forward? That maybe one day Ghanaians will be enlightened enough to understand the start of jobs or work you are doing.
Yeah, my aim is that I have a wife who supports me in all I do and what I intend doing. As I speak now, she's sitting by me here, and she encourages me. Sometimes when some of these things, like these viral cases comes, I tell her, Ina, this is what I'm going to. My wife's name is Ina. She tells Paul, go and do it. I'm praying. I'm going to pray for you, and she prays a lot.
I think she shouldn't be praying alone. We should all be praying if that is the way our country is going. But extend my greetings to her. I've seen her picture on your profile and everything. And you see, whatever it is, you are not going to, as we say in Akane, it's not going to dampen your spirit, and you are going to move forward.
No, my spirit is not going to be dampened. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There are times you have to struggle. When I tell my wife that I'm going to do this, she said, Paul, go get it done. No, I told you Friday, I had to drive all the way from Kumasi to Central Region to Western Region to collect a placenta. Buying fuel, you know how much fuel costs in Ghana. I did it all by myself, and she supported me, and she supports me. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not serious, not the least worried. Absolutely not. In fact, this is research. In fact, the topic where the thing has gotten to, I wouldn't like to even discuss that thing, but the question is that I'm not worried, absolutely not at all. Not at all. I'm doing what God has asked me to do, and I'm doing just that. So basically, I'm praying God that He gives me energy and life and then protection to be able to continue doing that.
Someone just sent me a message. He said, Mansa Musa, now you understand why there is brain drain. If any organization in the first world or enlightened world should get hold of this man, they will quickly take him away from us at our demise or something. Okay, so yeah.
I'll tell you something. Let me tell you, Mansa.
Go ahead.
I am a German trained pathologist. If you go and Google me, I'm the first ever Ghanaian trained pathologist, and I'm in Germany. And what it is that I had opportunities to remain in Germany. In fact, I had even an appointment in the US. But I decided to come to Ghana. So it's a decision that I did all by myself. So for me, there is no way that I will leave Ghana. I want to stay here and make an impact. Whether they recognize it or whoever sees the importance of me here or my being here, it's okay. But I'm telling you, I have 4 kids, 3 boys and a girl. My first boy is today, he celebrated his 12th birthday. My first boy celebrated his 12th birthday today. My last girl is 4 years. And I want to live in Ghana to make sure that a change or changes happen. If they don't happen, maybe may not be in my time, but I hope that something happens. I'm not going to be discouraged whatever I'm doing. So Ghana, I'm not going to leave Ghana. I will be here and make an impact. And my wife is also here and supports me to make sure that an impact is made by us, whichever way.
Someone also sent, he said, Mansa Musa, the guy is scared of the ruling government. A professional medical, he said, a professional medical doctor is talking with fear. What has an
the guy said I'm scared?
Yes. He said you are afraid of any consequence from government circles, and he is rather worried that some official pronouncement from you, if it was in Europe or elsewhere, would have been taken very seriously. But in Ghana, you are left alone to.
I'm not a coward. I'm not scared of anybody. I'm not scared of anything. But the only thing is that I want to do things the way it happens and as and when it happens. I'm not scared of anybody. I'm not scared of. Tell him that he should rather pray for me. I'm not scared.
That is what he's saying. He said, as a scientist, what has this got to do with prayers?
The line is breaking somehow, so I can.
He's saying that as a scientist, this has nothing to do with prayers. He said he should say it as it is, and he shouldn't. Prayers shouldn't come in.
Yeah. I'm a man. Seriously, my name is Osei, and there's no Osei who is a coward. I haven't met any Osei who is coward before. I'm not coward.
I'm not coward. As they say, Sremusei, and that is even more dangerous. Anyway, listen. Look, for what it's worth, we hope, and as we say, we will also pray that in future, going forward, not in the very near future, there will be that environment, that will exist in Ghana, so that comments or findings from people such as yourselves will be taken seriously, at least, if for nothing, to dispel maybe any exaggerated notion of things. But for you to be left on your own devices, as you are saying, it is very, very wrong. Round up for me, what do you want to say to those in diaspora, those in Ghana, and the way forward?
Well, first and foremost, I will ask them to continue to pray for some of us in terms of some of these things that we are doing, it's not easy in Ghana. And I'm not saying that I'm being intimidated by any political powers. No, as for that one, no. Nobody is intimidating me. Let me just emphasize on that. Nobody, no political party, no political power, no government is intimidating me. The only thing that I'm doing that I feel that I need support to be able to bring forth or bring bear to this the powers that be that we are in trouble. We are in serious trouble. Few people are making money to the detriment of the majority who are vulnerable. For instance, if you have a child, you may think that probably you are in the UK or you are in the US, so you directly you are not being affected. But you may come to Ghana just a day or maybe a month. Almost all these things that I'm speaking about or I've spoken about, they have what we call three means by which they can affect us. Either you are inhaling it, or you are ingesting it, or you are drinking it. So you may inhale it when you come to Ghana. You cannot say that I'm bringing my own air from the UK or from the US to Ghana. Or I'm coming to Ghana. You may even come with your own water. That's okay. But what about food? Even if you come with your food, there are three main means by which you can get affected by this: inhalation, ingestion, and drinking. So please, we should all be in a distance that now I'm doing an extensive study, very extensive, very extensive, by which I'm looking about over 1,500 placentas, and then now I'm not only doing only humans, I'm doing also the food chain and the water bodies. And so those are the things that I'm doing. So if anybody is interested, just please encourage me and then give me what it takes. I don't need money. I need encouragement, just as you have done. So that we move on.
Well, I can assure you that the encouragement, as much as we can get, from diaspora, especially we in diaspora, people listening to you are completely, how do I say it, confused and surprised, because such findings when it comes to health, even before someone else will dispel it, there, has to be debated properly. But over in Ghana, it looks as if no one really cares. Talking about inhalation, where I'm seated right now, second floor, we have people smoking right down at the bottom, outside, on the ground floor, and the smoke is actually permeating through the windows, and I can smell it in my head. As we speak, my head has already started paining me. I mean, it's terrible, this world. How can I go and tell them to even stop? Because apparently that is the designated area for them to smoke. And say, but what we are saying is very serious one. You see, no one can say he or she is somehow insulated or somehow safe from the effects of this illegal mining thing. And I think all Ghanaians should take it on board and, come in support of someone like you who has come out of these findings. And hopefully one day we'll get the sort of structures in place who will take, or the structures that will take such findings seriously. For now, I can only say that continue with your good work, and as they say, may Allah save all of us. Professor Osei Sampani, thank you very much for your time, and have a good evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mansa Musa. I'm most grateful for your time, because you could have used your space to do other things. For you to have granted me this time to share my finding, to share my worries, and to share my concerns with you and for all your listeners, I'm most grateful. May God bless you, my brother.
Anytime you want to revisit this interview, you can fetch it on the link, the Facebook or YouTube. Obviously, if you want
I'm doing a very extensive, like I said. I'm doing an extensive study. I'm looking at 150,500 placentas, which would lead to a whole lot of revelations. Not only that, well, as and when they come, I will let you understand and let you know, so that we'll talk about it and then see how best we move the country, Ghana,
sure,
and then the entire humanity forward. May God bless you.
Thank you very much. And if you happen to have or know some other people in your profession, in your circles, who want to also come out with anything, you can direct them to me, Mansa Musa. Don't always go to. Don't always go to Randy alone. Randy is my good friend, but don't always go to him alone. Come to Mansa Musa every time.
Sure.
Listen, thank you very much, and have a good evening.
Have a good evening too, my brother. Bye.
Right, so that was the voice of a professor who has come out with something that he has gone into. Found out that the effects on babies unborn or babies stillborn who are dead, have limbs and organs missing and the rest. He said this is happening mostly in the areas where galamsey is prominent. Is anyone out there who doubts the effect, the sad negative effects of galamsey? Anyone at all? We have a government at the moment whose, a government that whose persons involved in governance who are actively, apparently, or allegedly actively involved or indulging in galamsey, illegal mining. These people, look, there's only one way to describe them: evil. Simple as that. But like the professor said, one day there will be the structures, the environment. One day there will be the sort of governance that will allow such, it will allow easy, what is the word I'm looking for? It doesn't come to my head quickly. There will be a government that, will have representations that allow such, research, government that accept criticisms, and government that people will not be afraid to come out with, even things that will turn out to be a lie. If you have a government that everyone is afraid of, this is what happens. Galamsey is causing a lot of mayhem. This gentleman reported his case not only to us diasporans, but also to people back at home. The first time I heard from this pathologist, Professor Osei Sampeni, he is the head of medicine at the NUST, that KNUST. The first time I heard it was on Randy Abe's Good Morning Ghana show, explaining, and the headline is that babies in galamsey areas are being born with one eye without genitalia. This is the sad state of affairs. And Ghanaians, most of us, or most of them, are rather, ignorant. As they say, ignorance is bliss. If you don't think about anything, your mind is free. And you think everything is right. Nee from Forest Gate says the doctor is scared of talking about issues relating to his own profession, yet he's reluctant to comment about them because of the autocratic NPP government. It could be so. And why blame him? It could be very true. He's afraid. And why not? He could lose his job.
NFM
Go for a quick break. We'll come back. Then we will continue.
Connect so emani sika de bagana if we wiase afana nyina yenchia kapre ane eye free Top Connect amasika manie ayemrekra ne wohia ne se wo be download with Top Connect app no e wo Play Store de ama wo Android phone ana se wo use iPhone so a ko Apple Store na download the Top Connect eye simple kra Top Connect wa man be aduonum so wo Europe North America and Asia wo mane wo dofo sika fa Top Connect so a eye ntem na emre na ma wa hoto so so sese die sika manie di foforo kra any Top Connect so we hia chechemu bia fra Top Connect ewo +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe Top Connect ewo abefo ntintenfidie nyina so Top Connect fasika mane wa dofo asundjemu a wontia kapre Top Connect yensu ye die
Abusia, let me go straight to the point. We will find wada. Once you attack and send me says so, your work is here. Come air conditioner, and also dumb air conditioning, no, and said that more can see, no crane say. One funny papa, and installation now, Mountia. With everything called enterprise, air conditioning installation at the Mawa, Odamo, a Rubia, okay, you. Never cold room, it's a cold stores, and in Bavia, you didn't see, I was saying, you know, everything called enterprise. Every year, a nice one at your Mawa, a Rubia, no, but you medicadica. You install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels, also, you want a nice Edemawa, or you be a boost straight, not for your what you fee. So, what the asset, and our gas in a sense, say you'll come with the another dear, and our cold store dear, then you know, a very nice and quick, but we will be a yet the amount. Also, more bridge, I'm obviously dying, oh, my can over to me, I'm afraid you can lie with so. Yeah, be install air conditioning, Ibiamamu. Frank +44 7508 650279. Oh, wager, I just sent Ghana Fire Service. Wow, France 0544 489 343 and 0302 906 276. Your website, you know, everythingcode.org. And I send you an email, kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything called enterprise, air conditioning, a master, no.
President Nanado, your friend Matheson, Sunyana Namiwo. Makwatna awonu Holland, Ako Sam in Fifure. Sikaka kre minya yeno. Mediaba mia me maimu, Ghana. Diababe to registered bank, AJN Bank. President Nanado Uber TV so be catch Ghana for say. JN Bank anye ne dwumaye ti waje bank ne licenses no. With the customers ni sika be mo. 3 years muni Mansa kan misika. Sika kakre ka ye no so 550 million. Media kwa akoto commercial bank. Na me di say commercial bank de me di misika koto ho a e save. President Nanado Enam IMF Bosiana wokwa akoboninti. Osimimi sika 550 million na odi akwa ye adwuma nya interest wo so no. Once the Quran umfa mame. Misika trene no so. Ose umfa mame. Jese 2024. Na sika no interest ketuwa no a menya no. Obema me mu 5%. Menya adwuma wo Ghana. Mintimi so enko Holland se me kwa ye adwuma memfi akọ animu kakra kwan ben so na mefa so a me ne meyire ne memba yibedidi Mr. President mesero se me ma se me be street carefully ho mia mi sika makosam mfifure enya no mesero se obema mensa aka obi bia obi tie saa me audio me recording yi bi no mesero se mo de beto mo platform so ebetimi afa so ma President Nanado nensa aka when Yamasini be etie. Ghana paying for Messeremo so set money President Nanado Beka Samame. Medamase.
Good morning, President Nanado Adankwa Akufo-Addo. I'm pay me bano boko. Midin the ASP retired Franklin Nati. Mesun Ghana ewo police mu 24 plus years. Na me gratuity Mansa kano milito bond 2 years. Aka 1 year this year September. Aye 2023. Na mi bond no amateur. Wo adwina wo di ba ye say wakoboka ana wa bugana abofom enti me bra ma bre sika medi to bond no commercial bank no onfa mame we enye am robber ene ebe chimiji me sika o oman panyi a ya to abama no se onhwe yeso emra wo fru plane 18,000 pounds an hour. Nkrofo kachreo. Wante. Emra wo fa so many ministers se omunu na oni omu betumi aye adwuma. Nkrofo kachreo. Wante. Ene your incompetence inti me bre amabre. Me disika yedi tua me ka se gratuity me fa hwe me ho so no usi wafa this is 2033 se mi manu na opese omumbe jisika na me nana no mo a menim president woni diemu Israel unua na ni bank edi enim eji loans no mfaso a wanya no misrew mano fa nsa mfaso no ekotu yesika no mesika no mfa mame nanado utrimu yedin papa obi a maye juma Ghana mra kire se 24 years plus no yentua meka as a retired officer no usi wontua meka menya 60 years ye Nanado Minister Mibisa wo. Have you been a civil servant in Ghana before? Have you worked as a civil servant? Please. Nanado. Mimpese. Mbe kasati yao. Mimpese mbe dumi usu eni ubusiya derbi. Midi yao esreo. Tise na Mr. Matheson. Efrisu nyani esreo no. Jai misika mami, midin di ASP Franklin Kwesi Nate, mi tome bon wo commercial bank. It was Accra North branch. Please, I beg you, in the name of God, don't touch my money. Don't touch my money. Don't touch my money. Anybody who receives this, please, send it to as many platforms for Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo to hear and to see, or his cousin Ken Oforiatta should hear. Please, Nanado, I'm not supposed to beg you, because when you were begging that you should be tried, I remember traveling from Kumasi to Kofroduya to vote for you 2016, thinking you are bringing something on board. I regretted it. I have regretted all my life. Some friends told me, Anka unya accident or question na uya. Well, Nanado, please, whoever received this message, forward it to as many platforms. Let Nanado hear me and ensure I have my money. Thank you.
What's name wacha? Mama 2 years. Says here the fear be 2 years. I wanted them. What's name 2 years? uwie ya odi 2 years account. Sesi ano, sir, dan someone has said per se, upe single room, sesi ano unkuta 600, unkuta 500, unkuta 700, 800, unya dying. Sesi agent for age 100 CDs for viewing fee, and I say 80 Ghana for viewing fee, just showing you the room. Sesi if you're for beer, the omodayam agent for Uchia ya 9,600 also Uchia agent 900 600 900 and almost 1,000 cities. Why? Sesia you to the day. Why? Like why? What like why? Hey, like it's serious. Say, Matsna demo 2 years, I'm paying 8,000. Now I'm supposed to pay 9,600. And you're taking the 2 years. You take 1 year and put. Me can't see me engine 6 months in 1 year. To see how we hear Juma may fear. Uba boa no busumi pay the amount. Say 600 or say 700. You have to eat only small one a pay. Because a whole month I'm a pet. And see back on one bed. Ume should be you. Ume should be you or my 1 penny for Monka once a machine. You for the year brenna ye kum anyhow. A direct in tea ye betting pontino. Ubecoma ye kum. Ubecoma ye kum to you to ye brenna moon. A dime some air kunye. A day. How Ghana ye ble papa a day and then fear walking in and catch me patrol me pedimod because of who agent viewing fees or do cut them or bet you 80 CDs and now say 100 CDs and then dance so man dying who could have 600 oh single room name or do 2 years 600 CDs 2 years. Because of that, into the ultimate mother or no person or 2. Now, or do a roof for a show on 600, 500. That you would turn into a person who 2 years. At the moon can wash my and say you to the year bread. Ye only a bet to a bone, ye are near to a back. I made your main influence in Crawford.
Right, welcome back. It's now 7 minutes gone past 9 p.m. here in the UK. It is the same number of minutes gone past 8 in Ghana. You are listening to Mansa. Musa. The program's Fire Will Burn You. Right, so what is happening in Ghana at the moment is that the NDC has finished. They have conducted their primaries and they have their leader in position. I mean, their leadership is very well known. It has never been a surprise or anything of that nature that Mahama will be the flag bearer for the NDC. What Mansa Musa is asking is that why is it that Mahama comes out with his position, his program, his plans, or suggesting for certain national issues that many people are concerned with, and anytime he comes out to say something, for instance, that he is prepared to look into the ex gratia discussion, ex gratia matters, make sure that ex gratia will be reformed or even abolished or something. What we don't hear, what we don't hear from the other top gurus from the other parties, either from CPP or anywhere. But especially, we don't hear anything from, let's say, the NPP side, from Alan Chairman team, from Kennedy Japan, from Akoso say, or anybody. Anytime Mahama says something, it is the media fraternity that challenges him. We don't hear any challenge from the NPP top hierarchy. And to me, that is rather unfortunate. That is not fair. That is not even right professionally. How has it come that the leader of the opposition will come out with a suggestion or submission, will come out with a program or, a policy, and the media or the media fraternity will not seek to request or require responses from other political leaders. Rather, these media personalities will sit down and mostly condemn Mahama for what he has said. That, for me, is very unprofessional. It's not proper. It's not good. So from now onwards, we know that Mahama, on the NDC for flag bearer, it is all kind of same Munkofre alanchemanti ana baumi ana se kene Japan ana se osakoto ana se ejakun ana se omo obscure peoples be Jogate and Dems almost here president, you have to go and call them to come and respond. That is how we should be. It cannot continue that the NDC or the MPP political party, either in opposition or in government, is being shielded, protected by media. It's wrong. Eyenimguasi, say media never Ghana. No, why about you say, especially the Akan media, the Akan tribal media. I will say it is straightforward. I'm here and family hukra. The Akan tree, Ashanti, Achim, Akan media. Oh my dream say NPP no opposition or some more they have to be protected. And no, and now be any and ne. This is what has brought us here, and we are still not learning. Many doctor, professor, or say Sampeni, a pathologist, or no nim ne juma, one who say, and kwala ye warm or bebria galamse no, ye kosu bebre no, san kwala ye warm with so many defects. Me can defect I just say, almost ye be war bino na inside ni ho, na ne na ba kun ni ho, na o eni ba kun, na oni entohwe, oni oba ayase, oni bema ayase, eno ani se awoni keke, who defects bebre, na kwala we and some bebre, especially or say, Saturday is natural, say okay, maybe 1 in every 100,000, there will be something like that. But when you are seeing them quite often, and from those areas, I hear Galam say, that is too much. This doctor, according to his own words, in a year interview in Umre, just obien fino, and call my papa, ni papa nebu or minor, or my papa, and ni papa nebu or minor, and can doctor yakoye or nonkasa ne findings when we say, oh, and Croft and Kola ye woman, defects. One colano where Dawson, will be a galam say coso, and Carbinum penny for they will look for this doctor, they will collect his data, whatever he has got, research will go into it seriously. Ain't it just for infants say research crowd to to dispel any sort of exaggerated notion, say as some doctor can cry and shall ninja. So fine, let's just say I wish him and the yehu. Ghana dear him for Obia home. Him for Obia home. Because the Bufuni said, and Penifono and Famono, or Momo Yaria, Omuni baby omoko. Only baby omo hospitals war. Senia Canoforiata or Yaria, ye did to play Muka America Korea and home, or him said Ghana and Kobewu, because Ghana no, ye ma Obia and ya research equipments, BBA any ho, we Yari serious I the show. Omana ye timno and semhuno adolson. Rubbish governance. And I to say for Obiaho. But if anybody bring the only thing is say the media, no, especially the Akan tribal media, no, protect NDC, MPP, either opposition or in government. NPP either in opposition or in government, being protected by the Akan media. Na san kwashe same way. And kwashe same way last meeting say obi say when they were NPP was opposition, they cooked up on one say can a secret or can a number say they cooked up some messages and some information. They cooked it up. Just someone kasa and sembi on bekai and one a dream so yanko kasa same way just to destroy Mahama. As for politics, they are politics. Sometimes you say things to undermine your opponent. But to make it a blatant point, say, ube di atro, sine be ube winino. Eno ni ne. A friend is saying, Ekufuado, to me ko Kumasi, Ekufuado to me ko Kumasi ko share something in it, on to me cast and pepper be say my way. Instead, on they just the ministers, no, they chira something in it. Where are Lanchamanti of a president AD? Where are Sakoto, no super president, no most restraint. Then Asante too will be very happy with all that poverty and your friends say fee. Sumuni kan kanya eguni kumasini Ashanti regional Asante to me 2 kwan ebe birthday party wa abrochire. Ghana nkwana sansem hunu we ebesi. Ghana nkwana sansem fee we ebesi because ye free say yenimbie isu yenimbie kura mbie kapreba. You're listening to Mansa Musa and his fire will burn you. If you want to discuss with me, I'm ready to listen to you. Call me on my number and I will surely discuss issues with you. right, Fire will burn you by the great Osibisa. You are listening to one and the only Mansa Musa here at NFM Radio. Or say NFM, it is a mudaho. And it's a bar now. Chiamia, sorry. I needed to do something quickly, so I missed your call. But call again, and when you come, I'll greet you. NFM will say mudaho. Then we'll discuss what you come with. Simple, because NFM will say mudaho.
NFM Radio, mudaho.
That's it, So we are talking about, we are discussing the aftermath of the NDC primaries, which has finished, relatively, very peacefully, very beautifully. And so, my next on the agenda is to find out why when the leader of the NDC speaks, pronounces certain policies or come out with certain programs, we expect that even if the media persons will discuss those issues, we expect the media to call in, for the views of the other political actors, like Mahama saying that he will do something about ex-gratia. I've not heard of any media in Ghana, personnel in Ghana, asking Alan Chemantino about Umia, Kene Japan, or Sakuto, or any of those people. Is it that they don't want to speak to the media, or the media, as usual, is protecting NPP, whether in opposition or in power? I haven't heard anything like that. So, what to say? Media, I interview, be seriously about pronouncement. Be a Mahama Khan. You can let me know. But as far as I've studied, or how do I say it? Say many ashare. Who say? And I mean, say Mahama. I make key comments be about any situation, any issue in Ghana. Then, under normal circumstances, usual what we do, or what media personnel do elsewhere, is that the media people will discuss the issue, but they will call for the opposing view. And I say, fans say Mahama can something about ex-gratia. Obidi say Alan Chairman or person or president, I see a friend here Busano now. Hey, yes, Mahama so bar ex-gratia no between. Now who is saying? Then he will also explain his position, whether he will support it or he will decline, or he will say no. And yeah, the papa says he trim. But the media will never call Alan Chemanti. Mahama Beka say, your friend is saying, dual citizenship. And no, but some people in the media fraternity are not them, a bit team say a musio, Mahama Samawakano, and try ye, but call the opposition MPs or the opposition leadership and ask them for their views. That's what is done. But I've always said that, it is all about to protect the NPP, whether they are in power or they are in opposition, which is really a shame. Ambrose, our friend, hello, Ambrose.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
We have a call there. I see. What team for Yo. Anyway, as they say, NFM Radio or say Mudaho, Kwaba and Diana de Bay.
NFM Radio, Mudaho.
Sana Mekasano, the American can say, Yadanya coupons say, Washasuma, NDC, Abatri, Yakotono, Memende, Bibia Yasun Dream, near Yapeno, Neanya, the delegates in a supernal Makuyi, Mufis on Bitumia Boama, Yabaji, Ekunya free. Nanado ne MPP for some. Na sana mbeka sano American Simon very good. Yeah, communication director. Adwumaden a wakɔkɔyɛ wɔ Navrongo Central.
NFM Radio.
Akɔwini primaries no to represent the party come 2024. No, represented Navrongo for parliament. Dear Danasi. Nti Obaswa, Mwabia, yes, bit me ayɛ de aboa no no. Yɛbɛboa no tumi akɔwini seat no. Akɔ retain seat no. Ɛde ama party no. Nti on de dem de besia no. Congratulations one against your communication director Simon Abrigo. And maybe kwani mo no Mansa Musa. Meti say na wo kan say media no they are biased and the Mahama Bekan bia no instead of them some bisa government in power na say omo aspirant no mo bisa. But Mansa Musa me no me expect anything different from that. But me mom de be am afutuo ni say NDC as a party no. Omonim says we no ye dey asa no mo be. However, NDC so some affiliate radio stations. The whole world ko any country bia UK hane America and others no. Omo one or two media omo ye affiliated to. And we are the bias. But Ghana, I say majority of them know that is how they are. But I will say NDC should be free to the extent say one mudiano kakrana almost we are affiliated to you no. Mon so saying mon build to become one of the best in the country. So they will speak for you. Oh, so one year you will keep complaining until maybe the word ceases to exist. Because you don't change it. Who will need power, they will against you. Who opposition go and they cast against you. Now power, they will continue to speak. So the few that you have. Now, Adia Bakuso Amesa can say, as I say NDC, so other few radio stations, TV stations are affiliated to NDC. No. Now, see, as I say, NDC paying for businessmen, also more radio station. They should use their media to support the party. For instance, the former chairman, or the on one radio station at the year, he was not able to use the radio to propagate his own message. Oh, Japan sana. Oko can say other races be NDC. Obi jancho obesero. Obi say na wo chairman no and our former chairman radio station. They did not fan support. They did not fan support. Maybe say the aspirancy complained for. So we can radio station in Naiboma or getting to about 10. Musa say NDC near affiliate station bia
NFM Radio.
Complained before the anokwa the year you soon the TV and radio station support to NDC. Can this be kwanim? Ma yeah, I see BC who say a year day and a one fan support. A abron would dear na say then. And I see, I say, or you better to obey, and on one casa, one resign, and win ya. Government, you know, the radio station in the TV in Abbasotona. If don't make jay, bias no more, no more Abbasotona. And I know not all the party need to know, and oh, yes, Anna. We should ask questions. Because we'll be an opposite party in him, may better to Abamon. Now, oh, dear, about where you ever caught 2024. Now, who are radio stations and number of them who are TV stations. Now, want to be from what party? Don't you find so party? What for? Because depend on that where you could not know, or you'll be or you're anti NDC. And the person I say, or no, because I was doing who said, what about your party pay? No, visually compared to Abano de Manana. No, nobody will do that because Ghanaians are aware of what is going on. It means or resign. I am one because Mekran can resign because he did that to avoid further shame, further embarrassment. It's more withdraw, because when him say or koi krananga because I abandoned your motor and to man no. They change it. You and Sana Kubinya. But to avoid further way, no. Now also, okay, about a month or 2 months ago, 1 month or 1.5 months. Now your program be can say Kwabrando for
NFM
contestant
Radio.
no. Onim so renew. They are contesting so that you two abano to see or withdraw, you know. People are calling and say Mahama should reach out to him. And at the end of the day, no, and this be power. What would change our brain and can bread before and the affiliate, no, Baby in your position, Baby enjoy from the party because we are now calling and say they should reach out to them, bring all of them together. No, opportunity, no. Now, what brain can we hear that we do not get that opportunity? And then I'm say, Ubian in Ema or they contested head. Whenever say, oh, yeah, a MPP ni now contest voter region, whole central. Ton and whatever. Wouldn't say walk on Belusu. But Nipan war another idea say Kono Kono, or Koso renew, or Cordia making itself popular. So that say Abano we near positions be over to me a pray because what they can I bet you now. I also know I am an alcohol will be contested a MP as an MP no Lusua. They are the potential people are DCs, MCs, that's what you've been doing, both MPP and DC. That's what is happening. And so that sign of community force today, and the mechanics say NDC force should do their best to support. Support, you know, it's not only in terms of financial motivations. They should patronize those radio and TV stations. They should patronize them. What do I say? But maybe do now somebody like Samuel Jemfi, radio good on call radio good on call on call a cry from near daddy. No nam Peace FM, Adom UTV and Co. Where's a more opportunity to make money, to make numbers, no more stronger. Now the support to war or affiliated to war party mujama egu. It is a bad practice. They should learn. Was globally by your parties are or more 1 or 2 stations are affiliated to. But Ghana then the most of them, the majority as you call one side. And TSA party they should learn from their senses and patronize their own affiliated radio and TV stations so that it will help them to build their capacity, build their competencies, and also rise to the level opportunity now, they can cover nationwide. And to work you don't rely on those stations now. You when you call Casamua, who feel one year done. Never also go back to defend as some now. And we should learn a lesson from that. Or see a shame before you should be everyone there. Your bands and why we need to learn.
So in effect, what do you say to people, who, I mean, me feel say the like Sami Jemfi going to Asempa, maybe not going to Radio Golden is not right. He should have time for NDC radio and media places. But at the same time, one would say that you need to be on the enemy turf as well. Otherwise, you only be speaking to your
people.
Don't
patronize your enemy stations and leave yours to rot. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that you patronize you, but you also give fair for instance, when even NDC was in power, you must say it as it is. NDC was power. They were giving contracts to other radio stations. Peace FM, Adom, and others. Now Radio Gold and others were crying. And then the radio station were they were crying, said they are not getting those adverts. Why? Say you're building now. We will not rely much on these people.
You may be very right, Ambrose. Ambrose, whilst we are here, Musa about what is going to happen next. That will be can be betrayed me. I mean, in private, I'll say there is parallels to be drawn in what has happened in Ghana with regards to Dufour's attitude. I'll say what Dufour did was almost the same as some groups have done here in the UK. So
your line is breaking.
My line, me line is break your own.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's from my end or your end.
Okay, what I'm saying is, some people are saying that what happened with Dufour in Ghana, no, it is the same thing, the same tactics na ebinumu yusu ewo UK ha. Say, omunim say, bia ombe lusu intino omo ye takashe. Say by force I will be a real near the idea. And I'm President Musa so who is saying?
Oh no, me Cobran Dufour the no the court no. Me no problem biao. But the problem one can say is just a question. What I say or resort to all the means and I could between your redress internally and some court nana. That is my question. So or you sue all those say and when you redress or court, I don't have a problem. But when you sue the on more problem or because we could have resolved it internally rather than going to court. Until one a dicey. But going to court there, it is his right. So be our key when ya until more court now. I cannot fault him. But when you sue the processes now, Kasa party rules and regulations in the channel, then he was at fault. Then he did it intentionally, just to frustrate the upcoming what do you call it, outgone elections. It's one of the American work because once you're a party member, there are some rules that we follow. When you get your point,
I don't know. So my question is clear. Clear. Yeah, it's not about Sebia or court and answer one. He was bitter about something, and that bitterness, because there was nothing to it. And he said, this I didn't cry, but whether court or no court, Nanke Hunya. And the same thing is happening in UK. Say some people are bitter, but their bitterness has no basis. Somebody
can't change. On my church, one say, the much say, one, a more UK hano, aspirants no, no. One, our advice say they should use the internal structures to seek for redress. So we are not say there's been some sort of bias, they are not listening to you, they are not addressing your needs. Then you escalate it. We understand that if I am using the internal structures, now if we say still you are not listening to me, you are not giving me the platform or the opportunity to air my grievances, to listen to me and resolve the matter there. Then you escalate it, whether you escalate to the national or whatever that you want to know. Is their right. But yes, be a voter register no. Now we just say baby and koyi. Now so that's the court. We could place injection. That is not right. What you should do is say use the internal structure. Baby, our office say sign up before the problem no one know. Before the want to me and say constituency way. Nipa do say. And you mudi free mu. Ya for mudi and count. Region where nipa do say you couldn't do that. Many you place much emphasis on here say voter album no so wasn't mandatory. It would be place argument on that. The amount of voter list that is what is recognized. It's one only the fourth on that side. But UK the end what I was saying is obia office or affected. So yeah, what I saw delegate and now say we aspirant. Now office say you DMFM if we say branch be near Mankuya, the me put to say once a yaso plan with the branch listen and I say those who have the right to vote no. Evaluate it. Now why you analysis? Now who say Sanko for we per the data near their mind they don't qualify to vote. And the engine on their account. Then once you have that, then you write a formal petition to the what do you call to the chapter for redress. So the mom not so much to me and then you escalate to the national Accra. Accra for so and to me and office almost go through the same line now. Then whether you use a code, then you use it. It's your right. But you have to follow the right channel. That's all what I would say.
I see. I see. That is quite interesting enough. And me interview your friend saying Conrad no.
Yeah.
I think if I got him right, there was one lady, one Kukwa also, who has gone to also win the primaries, and that Kukwa's legitimacy was being contested here in the UK, which would be very strange, wouldn't it? Say, yeah, we are not make a Ghana ko wina ni base for UK, and then Crawford or ye ni crown ye legitimate ye in free ade no. Anyway, politics there, it is how it is. It is always not straightforward.
Obano say ni di Oman fa ni di am listen mo na.
I think what I heard when he say I had no crown, I had no na suspicion be wo say I'm saying she wasn't. I mean, I said suspicion be one.
Yeah, so when there is the main issue they say I'm not part of this what do you call to vet the register. But the minimum say yeah more guidelines. There were more cut-off points. It is more cut pointer. There should be it shows that at this time be in November and I can say it will be after Biano, you should disqualify the person.
And it could have been very possible, say, and fan say, we are just guessing, and yet, me name say, it could have been very possible, say, and fan say, meaning in particular, no, when Trian in Temuti would have been disqualified here in the UK. And so now in Ghana, no, she's good enough, to win a primary. How ironic would that be?
No, the issue is because I say we are individual, and I say we ask for an officer branch be I had a friend all London. Men I me introduce you through Kwesia Kwanomo register as about since 2020 thereabouts. I could 2020 the entire contribution to the Koboa na aqua from the saying Kwesia Kwa. On no DNM no organizer may a contribution. Those of us who comes from Western region, not alone scrack into two constituencies in Western region, Axim and also Ahanda constituency. Oh, but the issue is Obia would deal him until one of the guys I'm a classmate or arrested 20 bills full, but he didn't listen. That's what I'm saying. And he hadn't any damn film. And he said, no, I would say, you write to them, say, I've paid all my dues. These are my receipts. So why my name was omitted from the list? So the mom say, then they will add you to the list. The same apply to people. No more so that they can vote once. Main major and the winning this last election year HME. And so that they also play a key role in the upcoming election. And I hope that once we have to win a win, the party will suit to its the election will come on and us so that the leaders now but we'll do point to be national for now so we say voter register no a bit complicated there. What they can do is say they can elect interim executives to spare the affairs of the party for about 2 years. After that, then they will do the election. You organize it and do it. So it is up to the national executives to do that. How somebody can set a committee almost someone sure way. So we committee to spare the affairs of the chapter, then they take it on. Okay. So
all right, you
national for no more year. I hope say one of them or can we know Dr. Ahin or when they say one of my say 3 sister constituencies I'm a central. He lost on our way but and that is it. Go on to preview but no I ni MP na kasa won kwachi aka no lusui oba bi na biti no the Ahin no net also third. That's the last person. So you got about 43 or so.
Anyway, votes. So Barbie beating Crofina manager because gender balance in this way and
yeah. Or I'm a central your Barbie ne winnie. MP Nankasa incumbent ne Bema no Lucy, but Obano were winning. I don't know Obano. Formerly, na me mate Georgetta no MP or resign one kubio and a Quachiaka no a buy. But Quachino craft you are Quachino crack on a man by your friends obey a DC or something by MP. But the issue is sometimes NDC will some sort of problem. That constituency, no. What happened is Quachiaka no on your NDC new or your MPP. Need strong MPP. No contesting MPP. Or name me mate back on George Padmore. Or contesting that George Padmore no BT no. Or no the kind between one, no contest here where we need no more call second the next election no. No George Padmore no be BT no. To BT no. Na Kwachiaka no free no call independent. And the campaign no was biased. Na reduce MPP for na NDC for no sanso winning. Because that seat in the NDC a seat since 1992. It's true that now MPP or didn't have a ball NDC. Now, for now, Mansa and Fini, Eja Kaman, so no for no, or more campaign man. You winning 2028 election, no, you winning a man by year. DC. And so, DC, no, the next, why or contest say incumbent MP, no, and OBT, no. Let me say, you uncle you and or not the bay. And to also time I do not be able to was the same. A quite fast so we MP back when free on one could be on. Son of you 20. As what second year, who was a kind
and one. Right, Ambrose, and you may what discuss it come up.
I must
Good call. That was Ambrose all the way from where he is to the studio here. 9227, hello. Hello. Okay, let's see. Hello.
Mansa Musa.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. I'm Paul.
Yeah, who here?
Yeah, Daniel.
I had a book on
Madasi, thank you for the opportunity. Now, Mamin Chicha, ETF na o production team, no BBR. You may be a very good evening. Maybe another Monday after to India, Daniel. Mansa Musa, I think they raise the issue be on Tibono Amafri concerning Mami Bina Nednary example. I don't know what issues she might have had here, but the issue they be aha or issue, but wow Ghana for Jinatum it's more, even though I know that you were using it as an example, not in it, but it signals there as if the rejected person here, no Ghana, they are qualified. But I think it will be a wrong perception because even for myself, but for Honorable Malik, I wouldn't have been a member of the NDC in the UK here. But my membership in the Pristia Hunibali constituency is so tight. And to say if I'm not eligible to vote, it doesn't stop me from contesting in Pristia Hunibali, which I still have my membership tight over there. And for all you know, my men probably might have not joined the UK Ireland chapter at the right time or might have not paid her dues up to date. I mean, for the purpose of example in America.
No, you see, in detail, whatever happened, no, I'm not even going to discuss it because I don't know. But I was just giving examples. The irony is that she's good enough for her to even qualify for the national staff. Meanwhile, Hanona Akwede Mansumbiabahu, which is a bit of a shame, really. That's all what I was saying. I'm not saying that it means she was rejected and that why should she win in Ghana. I'm not saying that. Or what I'm trying to highlight the issue around.
What I'm also trying to say today, she might not Mansumbiabahu because she probably had also seen the leadership here and she wouldn't have vested her interest in the chapter here.
Yes.
Because probably through the the paper be and free member and I wouldn't even waste my time. Let me concentrate on where I have a potential to become their parliamentary candidate. So that is another angle we can look at. Because if I feel them to use to her, it's better I pay over there than paying here.
Exactly.
When I know that Hannah, NFM Radio. Are you getting it? Yeah. And see, that is another thing. But I mean, moving on to your topic and why has the focus shifted from the NPP to the NDC? Mansa Musa, would you join a political party that appoints chief executives of mortuary and funerals association, or you would want to join a political party that builds on the ambition and the sees the potentials in Ghanaians? What about to redefine a path for Ghanaian youth who has lost interest in the country today? Which one would you want to belong to? Would you want to belong to a political party that Al Jazeera claims today, the leader of that party, and for that matter, the president of our country, is involved in money laundering? Would you want to be part of that association, or you would want to be part of an association that the leadership now, everybody, even in Europe, everywhere, people are calling for John Mahama as a true man who can redeem Ghana? Which side would you want to belong to? And that is Ghana kasi I did was at the panoid and today NDC is solid, and NDC is you are more happy to be part of that NDC now than ever, because nobody wants to associate itself with tyranny. Nobody wants to associate him or herself with a president that hires a private jet and goes with a girlfriend in the air and wanting to have whatever in the air with girlfriends. Nobody wants to associate him or herself to that kind of leadership. Nobody wants to associate him or herself with leadership and them kofuwa buchia. What say after the yerbe dikane sika, after the yerba bididi. But they know that in the diaspora, leadership is about the people. Leadership is about service. Leadership is about listening to the people, being responsible for the people. But they sit in Abuchi here. They enjoy the benefits that the government is giving them here. They enjoy all of it. They're responsible leadership. But they sit in their gathering to say, Yerba big this. After the Yerba big this. The president now or your comfort. Yerba big this. That is the leadership. Nobody wants to associate themselves to this kind of leadership. Leadership are only tema. Leadership are hold up, own yourself up for accountability. On your responsible. Leadership are who your president. Say Gabi no your president too. That's until baby you no your president too. Say we don't even know who the president is. Say what new. Nobody even knows. Are you getting it? Inti yepe president or ba obey mortuary ne abadi actually o mana ye fun ama izia no mortuary fu na ye a chief executive in the mortuary na funeral na akaka ye be yi won obe chesi ghost so Ghana won so chief executive. That is the level of sebi in some huna ye di o mana kwako shim no. That is the level and see, for those of us in the NDC, we should be proud. And in fact, it's unfortunate Jerry Rawlings is not alive. It's unfortunate other fallen heroes, they've died and they cannot witness this day. Because this is the day that I can say that the struggles, the need for revolution embarked upon by former President Jerry John Rawlings, now this is the time we should be here to see the fruit of that way. We are not in power, but you see, the hope that this NDC gives, Mansa Musa, is more than anything. Today, me listening to John Dramani Mahama, I see my child has hope. I see my younger brothers in Ghana have a future. I see that Ghana will not be decided on who your father's name is or who your mother was or which tribe you come from. And that I know that whether me coming from Pristia, someone coming from Bugumbugu or whatever it is, that person has a share in the national cake, and we cannot partake in the governance of our state. And so this NDC presents to the Ghanaian an opportunity. It presents to the Ghanaian a democratic credential you can rely on, not the Wasora. But one thing I am disappointed. I am really disappointed. One thing I was disappointed today. Probably, maybe I am too anxious and I am too jealous over the things I want to hear. Maybe it will come at the latter part in the campaign. And indeed, John Mahama, His Excellency, gave me snippets of it. Also, Ahmed Swale's killers will be brought to book. If it were me as John Mahama on that podium, I would have invited Honorable Kennedy Japan. That when we come to power, Kennedy Japan, we will need you for investigation into the death of Ahmed Swale. I would have signaled that to him right there. But like I said, probably I am too anxious and I am too, I want things to be done fast. And so those who sat on radio or TV to say journalists ought to be killed, their time will come. The day of reckoning will come. Nobody will run away from Ghana. We will see who killed Ahmed Swale, whether it was Kennedy Japan or whether Kennedy Japan knows the people who killed Ahmed Swale. John Mahama has given indication that we will look into it. And this is what we want. Mansa Musa, inti sabe who papa and the who me and our brother and our family Ahmed Swale. And asuma John Mahama can only that. Do you want to belong to a party that does not bother to care about the killing of journalists and citizens of Ghanaians, or you would want a political party that is concerned with finding the killers and perpetrators of crime in our society? And so, it is no surprising. Another, you bear nobody any grudge for the focus that has shifted from the MPP to the NDC. In any case, NPP didn't have any focus. MPP has never had any focus. And the reason why I'm saying the Mansa Musa go into our political archive. Since the 1992 Constitution was birth, in our democracy, I don't know if it's okay, the NDC is not. In our political way, MPP, look at them. They have never had a national, national appeal. MPP has never won even when Ghana had 10 regions. MPP has never won even in 5 regions. MPP had never won. Go and check. They have never won in even 5 regions. It tells you they don't even have a national appeal. They have never had a focus in the first place. They have never had a focus. We are looking at today. John Mahama made a profound statement, and I am challenging the MPP, and I am challenging Dr. Baumia. I am challenging Alan Tremantin. If Alan Tremantin wins the candidacy to become MPP's flag bearer, I want him to go to Kumasi and stand in an institution built by the MPP government and announce proclaim or declare his acceptance speech. I am looking at Baumia when he wins. Go to the northern region where he comes from. Go and stand in an institution built by the MPP government from Kofor to Akufo-Addo and declare your acceptance speech over there. Or you can choose to do it at the National Cathedral site. This is what we are talking about. Leadership of responsibility. Leadership that builds for the country. And that is the most important thing. Mansa Musa, I don't think you need to be so much worried or you need to be so much surprised about the shift of attention. And like I said, MPP have never had the attention anyway. It is just by means of, you see, your first year, your announce your 2 way near one announce your it is just a matter of they talk, they know how to talk. Just a matter of one thing. One no first year can be as a ukoto Italian shoe kura udi do Kumasi ombeka so shoe ni nyomo de na ye papa. That is who they are. They talk. Unfortunately, we don't talk like that. We don't talk. Anything again, I get the democracy. Abama kufu abrebe nyebino. Opiti mbejina radio do kede. NDC for nye democracy. Nye democracy kanke yesu abano. Nki yebema kufu ababe di tumia. Nye democratic. Nki yede 1992 constitution bebe yebe kede. Obi abe di 4 years. And then, and Trona Unkofu Bichai, 2016, we thought today we were okay. But this time, Mansa Musa, yen kan yaka. Yen we are revolution. Yen no more be a buga na deba e dibe hia. Yen mo be a mecha the men Trona wo twa no 2016. Wo gina abrochi kan sem hunu bia gugu mahama hu fi. Na wa to down wo Dubai. Why ye day? And then Yeka president wo Ghana who simpa. And look, I have seen a tweet by one of African leader. Okay, Akufo-Addo goes to beg the West for loan and uses the left hand to come and tell African leaders not to be begging. In foreign policy, in diplomatic.
Who tweeted that?
Oh, I will get it for you. I will go on Twitter. I will get it for you. The person is a leader somewhere in one of the African countries. And in diplomatic meanings, Mansa Musa, this is a very, very big case that the man is talking about. Because look, you cannot be a coward and a hypocrite to be going to China, Germany, and now even you are in South Africa begging South African president to go and beg IMF for you to secure a loan, and then you go and tell the same South African president not to be asking for loan, and then we can self-provide for ourselves and all that kind of excuse my life. That is
okay.
I'll get a speech for you. I'll get it for you.
All right.
The American day. On Mampaina wo Ghana who simpani Akufo-Addo, Al Jazeera, the whole world, one will be Akufo-Addo a money launderer. And that is very symbolic. On Mampaina wo any Ghana, the whole Ghana, Mansa Musa wait in some way, and this time we will say, any then. Sabi, the whole Ghana, since a year, see, do I on Mana Yankopo Mai in Ghana. Any more Mampaina, Sabi, not the Jar our embassy war, area Sima. The whole world will be see that any them Mampaina. And you know, Yakufa, and the mess what we need to buy, or call Canadian embassy what the pictures for Chrea.
I see.
In the Canadian embassy or Ghana wouldn't be any Mampain, ni nakedness, or any picture. And would you want to associate yourself with a president whose nakedness is with the embassy of Canada? Or you would want to associate with a president who is so dignified, who holds dignity, who has integrity, who is responsible, who is caring? Mansa Musa, I think that Obi say where the you clear, where you HD, you clear high definition. In the end, Nahoma 2016, 17, Hunibi and Kofubi kind. Yeah, Mawon Fambu, John Mahama no Hufi. Na ye hunde John Mahama no ono na Nyankopon e ye na amaye na is hwe Mansa Musa America we na me de ewie embrevin Israel fo ko Nyankopon e Nyankopon ya bre tembia wo na yi ohene maye tembia wo no isi amaye kwan na ye yi no ohene Nyankopon ka so no wa ka mate wona won ko yi ohene no wo koyi na Israel fo bre pa ebinu na wesi no you can't John Muhammad today Akufo-Addo the Watana Brochi Oka Brofo 777 only the OAT and the only the way they and yet ono na yet hono Nyankopon say won ko fa Akufo-Addo won fa no na Bible say nipa bone di omando a omano bre
okay yo
papa nso wo fa nimpo so nyame wo ho a Nyankopon nsa owo ma no do na NFM Radio ankese oya sem papa anka president also wa dwempa police dana ma Nyankopon de o se na ho sere ba ye
All right.
So ya say papa and president also ono de orisi dana amanyankopon nyankopon no
Radio,
one bedroom de orisi dana amani nko sire na sebe ye ho kire
NFM Radio.
Yo.
Ende ye ho kire ye posting sebe mra idi ami nkurate ne mando.
Yo. Yeah, that's a bit brave.
NFM Radio.
Meka emre na so eye Ghana ni a bebia wo bia no. Mansa Musa man kedo.
NFM Radio. Emuda ho.
Anya de ma ye ina ye bebre na nso obi bebre asindi.
Yo.
The American na eye Ghana ni na wa ha. Na say nti ko Ghana ko to abampa ye campaign 2024. Make sure that
NFM Radio.
We are no me send wo sika no e be ke bi a kire hon. Nsem papa dey can be to we anom na want to abasma NDC John Mahama.
Yo, yeah, that's it, baby. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yo. Yo. Good call. Good call. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
NFM Radio. NFM Radio.
Right. And you know when we try to maybe Magridi. It's now 6 minutes past 10 here in the UK, 6 minutes past 9 in Ghana. I wish you all the best with the Munasi. Nyame boy, China Babe Twaso. Hey, Magrizo. Ayo. Magrizo. Yo, Bada. Hey. Bade. I beg you, Johnny. I go badi. Aye, maybe Magrizo. Hey! Thank you all very much. As a signature no, it's not a signature tune. This is the end of the show tune or song by Mr. Ben Brackon, Osimewie Magridi, and that signals, that tells us that Mansa Musa has finished his play. I finished my part, and I am very happy. I appreciate your support, your presence, your text messages, and everything. Hey, which of them? When the Mebua make a mother and I make a master which I would there. So better you say you. Aye, maybe a magrizo. Emio, ye are grizzy. Agree, yeah, there were. Ye magrizo. Yay! How about? Also, then, ye are grizzy. It be so no. How come Mahama, anytime he says something, Ghanaian media don't want to interrogate the other contenders, the other high preachers from the other side? So Mahama has made some pronouncements. Aguru yede wa aguru yedo. Oh yedo. Ayo. Mansa Musa. Thank you all very much.
NFM Radio.
Tomorrow will continue on the Tuesday level. And things that will happen tonight, we'll bring it tomorrow to let all of you know. Have a good evening. Have a great evening. Have a great of everything. Cheers. Bye.
NFM Radio.